Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to the first kind of visual video in 2020. And like I said in my previous video, that's really strange to say. But with 2020 comes 8.3. It's been far too long. It was June of last year that we got 8.2, and it feels like it's just been way too long. But has 8.3 been disappointing? There's been some good, there's been some bad. And no, actually I'm going to change it. There's been some real good content. But there's also been a few problems that, if Blizzard had a little bit more time, they may have sorted out. So the main content that was brought in 8.3 were the new assaults in Uldum and the Vale of the Eternal Blossoms. Now the new assaults I was a bit skeptical about. We've seen assaults before in different content throughout the last couple of years of World of Warcraft, whether that's the BFA assaults where the Horde and the Alliance attack different zones, which to me was pretty disappointing. They were fun the first couple of times you ran them, but they didn't feel dangerous and they didn't feel worth doing. They gave you some good gear, but apart from that, nothing much. We've had the Legion assaults, whether that was in the pre-patch or in 7.2.5, where they were attacking the Broken Shore and the Broken Isles. But again, they didn't feel kind of meaningful. I mean, we were already under attack by the Legion, and it didn't make it feel dangerous. But with this, we've just come out of a war with the Horde, and our resources are spent. I mean, from a lore point of view, there's nothing we can do. Even with a fully fledged army, N'Zoth would be difficult, because if you've watched the cinematic, N'Zoth attacks through the mind, and you can't attack something that attacks through the mind with a sword. But we'll get onto that later. The new assaults, they feel very dangerous, especially the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. If you walk on the floor without your mount, without flying, you can die pretty easily. You can pull mob after mob after mob, and it will get to the point where you will probably die. It's not for the faint-hearted. Yes, people can DPS big groups down. There's no problem with that. And if you have the DPS, great. But if you don't, you could die pretty easily. But with more mobs, I guess there's more to kill. 8.3 as a whole has so much content. There's about 2 hours worth of questing when you first start. 3 for me, but I took my time because I read through everything the very first time, like I always do on my main character. This is the problem. I've heard people moaning that there's too much content. This annoys me a little bit because back in Legion, when we had the Broken Shore, we had a quest per week for about 11 weeks, I think it was. And people moaned because everything was time-gated. But now, Blizzard have opened the floodgates and allowed us to do most of our questing on the first day. The problem with this is, 2 months down the line, there will be no more content. I mean, we kill N'Zoth next week if you're in a guild that can kill heroic or normal. And that's the end of the storyline, practically. So what's that? A week? A week worth of content. N'Zoth has been attacking properly for a week, and then it's over. So 8.3 does have a lot of content, and it has a lot of repeatable content, whether you're playing solo or whether you're playing with a group. But that comes at a cost, because people want and want and want. But when they have it all, and they use it all, and they complete it all, then they have nothing. So it wouldn't surprise me, come next Thursday, people will go, oh wow, it's so boring, there's nothing to do, we did all the quests. But that's because you rush through everything. And I can understand why people want to do that. But the way that Blizzard have worked 8.3, most people would go, oh, I'll just go through an ult, I'll just use an ult. But trying to get an ult ready through the system that they've put in, they've made it really hard. We have the skip option where you can skip through content. Yes, I've heard this story before. But to upgrade your cloak, which is the main part of 8.3, I'd say, you need Coalescent Visions. And to get Coalescent Visions, you have to do the storyline. That's the best way to get them. So you're actually shooting yourself in the foot if you skip it all to try and get to leveling your cloak, if that makes sense. So they are forcing you to do content, but if you've got 4 other alts, then it gets a bit boring. Now, if you've watched other videos of mine, you know that I have 11 other alts. Am I going to do it on 11 characters? No fucking way am I going to do it on 11 characters. So it's that it is making people choose or think about what characters they want to do. I'm doing 5. I'm doing my shaman, I'm doing my warrior, I'm doing my priest, I'm doing my paladin, and my death knight. And I know I said I wouldn't do the death knight, but since allied race death knights came out, I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to give it a go. I want to try something different. Anyway, go on to the next thing. Horrific visions. If you stick to doing it a certain way, and there's lots of links and lots of different videos on how to do them, they can be very easy. I can clear the first zone with a rank 1 cloak pretty easily. If you have the orbs that regain your sanity, you don't need to take your time, really. I mean, you can have a look around. I found, I've not really looked at the PTR testing, and I should have done really thinking about it now, but I thought I wanted to experience it myself. It's a game, and I don't want to know what's going in. So I go in, and I knew I had to kill Thrall the first time. So if you're a shaman, easy way to do it, go in, go to the right, use your rock monster to gather them all up and let them tank. Use your focusing iris if you've got that to rank 3, perfect. You'll kill that mob practically instantly. Then all you've got is the 2 bosses in front of the door, kill them, then you're straight onto Thrall. Thrall has some mechanics, he'll stun you, which will lose sanity, and stay out of the coloured ground. That is practically it. I really like the horrific vision so far, and I like the fact that it's telling me you should upgrade your cloak more to get further. Now, I've played it with a friend who plays tank. He can do it. So you do need that DPS to actually get a little bit further. So I think I remember seeing that there were roles for different things, but I think a healer is useless if you can self-heal. And I think tank, well, the tank could be good when it gets to the harder levels, but at the very start, it's useless. So please, if you aren't clearing that first zone before killing Thrall, and you're finding it difficult to even get to Thrall, there is something wrong, seriously wrong, because if I can do it, you can definitely do it. It's an interesting concept, and I hope it gets harder as you get through to different zones. But not only that, if people are thinking, oh, I've cleared this zone already, this is super easy, be aware. Not only will the other zones open up, which will be harder, but you also have the masks, which I'm guessing will make things even harder. So you have all 4 masks on the first zone. It's probably going to be really, really hard. Now, there's one called Burning Bridge, and I don't know what it does, and I should have researched this before I made this video, but it sounds like something about blocking paths where you have to take a different route. Now, that would be great. I think it would change it up, switch it up, and it would keep it fresh a little bit. So, the next good thing is not a good thing. So the next thing is AP grinding. It's a thing again. Doing islands, getting AP through doing quests, using the mission table. It's something that we're used to now. It's something which I would have been annoyed about probably 6 months ago. But you know what? AP farming for an actual reason now. I like it. My neck is at 73. 73, personally, I don't think is too bad. I'm about to unlock my 3rd minor essence. And it's only 7 levels from being maxed out until it obviously scales. I really don't want AP in the next expansion. That's kind of all I've got to say about that. With 8.3, it's been a long time. It's been way too long for it to be released. I mean, the gap between 8.2 and 8.3 was unbelievably long. And you would have thought with the time that they had, Blizzard would have been ready for it. But they're not. And there are some major things which are broken in 8.3 which shouldn't be. So one of the things that is broken in 8.3 is the auction house. At this very moment in time, they redid the auction house. Perfect. The auction house needed updating. It is good if it worked. Could it have waited for the next expansion? Personally, I think so. I think the auction house, it worked. The old one worked, but it isn't working as well as it should do now. So there have been reports of people who use the auction house to make lots and lots of gold in a legitimate way to get their WoW tokens, who are losing like about 400,000 gold. That's a lot of gold. That's nearly 2 WoW tokens, which is 2 months worth of gameplay. And some people rely on that. I said before, I love the way that they use the WoW tokens. It's great. However, it's not working at the moment. The auction house isn't working at the moment. And they need to get it fixed. But this is something that should have been, if they were going to implement something this big, and the economy as WoW is brutally, it is a brutal thing. If you don't know how to use it properly, you can lose lots of money. You could think, yeah, if I buy this and upscale it, I can make lots of money. But you can practically lose money. I'd say that it's easy to make a profit in WoW, and it is if you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's easy to lose money. So do I think the auction house could have waited till 9.0? Yes. I personally think it could have, and they could have got it right, and it could have worked properly, but I guess through trial and error, we'll find out if it's actually good or not now. So maybe it is better that they get it sorted out now, sort out all the little problems, so it's fresh and it is working for 9.0, and we don't have this massive problem. So, yeah, I'll let you think about that. I was surprised the other day when I was playing, because I've played through all the zones, because I wanted to actually play the game. You see all these content creators making videos every day, every hour, every day, and I know I should make more. I do understand that, but I do work. I do have stuff to do, so I don't always have the time. But I wanted to play the game, so I've been playing the game since Tuesday, every single day, getting my dailies done, things like that, and I've really enjoyed it. And the dailies felt like a bit of a grind. The other day, I was unlocking the Volpera, because even though I'm not going to probably make one, I thought I've got to unlock it, because I've unlocked all the other allied races. And it did take quite a time, because they got you going here, there, everywhere, I'll do another video on it sometime. And I was about to hand it in. I was standing in front of Bane, and they were talking, and they were like, yeah, the Volpera, they're going to help us, yeah. And I was about to click complete the quest, and it said server shutting down. I was like, oh shit, like, come on, quickly go through all this talking. I don't want to have to like go back to somewhere because it didn't save it, or they rolled back or something, whatever. And it logged me out. And it was sad. So I came back in and finally got it. Don't like the mount, by the way, especially on the Tauren. I thought it could have been, it makes the Tauren really small and not the mount big. It would have been nice to have a little bit of a bigger mount and a little bit less smaller Tauren. Anyway, and then I looked, and someone was saying in trade chat or general chat, oh, the dailies have reset, and I was like, well, I've just done my dailies. What have they? So I checked my reputation. Reputation was the same. I opened the map. The dailies had reset. I ran over to there as fast as I could, because reputation is really, really needed for your rank 3 essences, man. And the healing one looks unbelievable. So that's what I really want. Anyway, and I went and did it. But what I've found out today, which I didn't know, is for people who are logging out and logging back in, their daily quests are resetting. This is the problem. I really want to go and do that, but people get banned over that kind of stuff. And is it worth doing 10 daily quests, but having like a 2-week ban? No, because then I kind of miss out on those 4 days. So I will do it when the day comes around. But if I forget, I will do it again. Anyway, and the main question really, to kind of end this video, was 8.3 ready? I mean, they had a lot of time, and yes, we needed it, but was it really ready? In my opinion, I don't think it was. I respect WoW, because they normally do things really well. They have some systems that don't work, I understand that. But 8.3 seemed like... This is my opinion. I don't think anyone at WoW wanted to carry on with BFA. I think they'd done BFA, they thought it was going to be a good idea, because they were going back to Warcraft 3 in the sense of Alliance versus Horde, and so many things changed in Battle for Azeroth. Warlords of Draenor, people may not have liked it, but there was a linear line. They knew what they were going to do. And yes, they took some things out and they put some things in, same with Legion, but BFA was just, it was there, and then it all got mixed up because the Azerite armor didn't work, so they had to add essences, because essences, I'm guessing, weren't going to be put in. Like, that wasn't going to happen. Was the storyline going to stay the same? I think even the storylines changed a bit. I think they wanted to long this out, make 8.3 a little bit shorter, then start afresh with 9.0 and Shadowlands. I hope that the whole BFA experience, for us, has obviously been a learning curve, but for Blizzard, I hope it's been a learning curve for them too, because I'm excited about this new expansion. I was kind of excited for BFA, but Shadowlands, I'm even more excited by. But I'd rather have quality of content rather than quantity of content. And that's something which can be relayed against all other games. I'd rather have a little bit to do, but it's really good. Which is why I think they're using the horrific visions as a guide on how to do the Maw and the Tower in Shadowlands. I think if you look at 8.3 and what's happening in Shadowlands, there seems to be a lot of similarities on what things we're going to be doing. So I wonder if they're using this as an experience and to learn and put it, what we like, what we don't like, and put it in Shadowlands. But that's just me thinking too far ahead. I'm looking at it from a developer's point of view. But anyway, that is 8.3. Now I've got a couple more videos planned out for the next couple of weeks, so I will be posting them probably once every couple of days. So you're going to get this massive wad of content, then you might get a bit of a drought, then a massive wad of content again. So anyway, the next video I'm going to be doing, I'm actually going to be doing it today. I'm probably going to have a 5-minute break, then I'm going to come back, and I am going to be doing ranked healers. You know I heal, you know I love it, so hopefully you'll love it too. So thank you very much for watching, and if you've got any opinions on 8.3, good, bad, got any questions, please let me know in the comments below. And until then, I will see you next time.